When you activate and do this work in and on yourself to raise up your Kundalini serpent fire power up through your body to your crown, to be crowned, so that you're sitting on the throne of your power, of your purpose, and of your pussy. Okay? Your type changes. Yeah. Who you used to be attracted to, what you used to be attracted to, who and what used to be attracted to you evolves, okay? You remember how you used to be crazy about Tyrone and Marcus them? Remember how you used to be crazy about Mike and them? Well, honey, when you do this work in and on yourself, your type changes. You're no longer going to be calling Tyrone, okay? You've thrown away the little black book made up of the Tyrones and the Mikes and the Marcuses. And let me tell you something. When you activate, okay, you're going to be like Summer Walker. And you're going to say, fuck your type. But let me tell you why. Welcome to Alcheminity, because turning pain into power is sexy. I am your host and creator of this colony and the many colonies we're building around our globe, hell, around our galaxies at this point. I am your queen bee, Miss Burgess, if you're nasty. Now let's get straight into this message. Listen. Yes, we know, aka the Gypsy Empress, also known as Nova. Now let's get into this message. Listen. I love this so much. I love how spirit just awakens this wisdom in us as we do this work in and on ourselves to heal our root chakra. As you know, my work is tailored and targeted for those of you who have been called to birth and create very distinct missions. You have very distinct missions on this planet. Your missions and your purposes are great. Okay. And in order to come into your power and your purpose, you must heal your pussy. Yes, especially if you've experienced some sort of sexual trauma. All of your power, all of your talents, your gifts, your skills, your abilities lie dormant, stuck, stagnant in your root chakra. This is why I work with you on a root level. As we know, you can grow nothing unless you plant that seed in the ground and that seed begins to take root in you. Okay? You are the tree of knowledge in this case. All right? People want to come and eat you. I mean, eat from you. Okay? They want what you have to offer. And unless you do this work on and in yourself, you will never come into alignment with your mission and your purpose in this life. Okay? Shouts out to my Patreon members over on patreon.com/Alcheminity. That's where we do our yummy, juicy, deep, exotic, erotic dives. So if you like it deep, just say you want it deep. And then become a member over on Patreon. Okay? Listen, let's get into this message. When you do this work in and on yourself, yes, people do want to come and eat what you have, right? As they should. It's part of your mission and your purpose that they eat from you. But you also need to be fed from them. You also need to be receiving nutrients and nourishment from those around you. And so when you activate and do this work in and on yourself, your type will change. Okay? Because you're going to realize that the people you used to be attracted to, people, places, and things that you used to be attracted to, no longer can fuel you. They are no longer nourishment for you. They're no longer providing you nutrients. They're no longer able to provide you what you need, if they've ever been able to provide what you needed mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Okay? Now, we all know I'm not a big Summer Walker fan. I don't listen to her music. I'm pretty sure I've heard some of her music before, but I'm an old school R&B hip hop girl. Okay, so I don't really listen to new school rap. I like my Eves. I like I just like my old school rap. So I don't know a lot about Summer Walker's music, but I did see the post that went viral because she has activated, obviously, in her mission, her purpose, right? If Summer Walker had never activated in her gifts as a musician, okay, do you think her type would have changed? If she had never activated her gifts as a musician and coming forward in the public eye where people can experience her gifts, where people can experience the power of her pussy through her music, okay? Because you activate from your root chakra, which she clearly has, all right? She's coming to her gifts. Do you think that if she was not at the height of success that she is, where she's able to be seen in the public eye, do you think her type would have changed? Do you think she would have been able to meet the man that she's with now? Clearly, this man makes her so fucking happy. Or let me tell you something about us women, especially us sisters. We're not coming out with anybody on our arm unless they're worth it. Okay? Why? Because we don't want to face the embarrassment. We don't want to face the ridicule and the scrutiny behind who our partners are. We rather just date in private. Majority of the time, you don't see Black women coming out who are in the public eye. You don't really see them coming out with who they're dating unless they've been with them for some time, and not only for some time, unless they're truly fucking happy. For Summer Walker to write "fuck my type," okay, in a nutshell says, this man does it for me and I don't care what he looks like. I don't care what I've been taught about men who are not of my same complexion, not of my same economic status or my same background. The same shit happened with Eve, okay? Now, I just brought up Eve. She's one of my favorite female rappers, okay? Who's that girl? La 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 la. Hello. Some of you are coming out in your power and your purpose so much that people are asking them, who's that? They're going to be wondering, we don't recognize you. Who are you? We don't recognize you. You're not who you used to be. You don't even look like how you used to look. Who are you? Right? So they said the same thing about Eve when she started dating her husband. Okay, I can't remember his name, but he's very successful. Clearly, he loves the fuck out of her, or else they wouldn't have been married this long and having kids. All right, and you can tell he loves the fuck out of her by the way he looks at her in photos, how much time they spend together. Let me tell you something. There's something about couples who are able to spend a good amount of time together. They work together. They have creative projects together. They play together. Right. Even if couples, if you live in different places in the world, you're still able to play together, spend all of your downtime is together. When you're working, but everything else is with you and each other, right? So I'm hearing when a man loves a woman, when a man loves a woman, can't keep his mind on nothing else, right? You can tell when a man loves a woman. Y'all ever been out in public and you see a couple together having dinner together? And you can tell when they're in love. You can tell when he loves her. You can tell when she's happy. You can tell when she's a kept woman. You can tell when a woman is loved properly because she has a certain glow about her. She's walking a certain way. She's blinking a certain way. When a woman is loved, she is heightened in her sensual and sexual energy. Okay? She is so sensual in the way that she moves, in the way that she blinks. She, it's like she's soft as a pillow. You can tell when she's loved, right? Because she's still able to be fully in herself. She's even more confident. She shines and glows even more, right? So anyway, the same thing happened with Eve when she started dating outside of her race. And I remember she was in an interview, and I don't remember which interview it was, World Star or one of those Breakfast Club kind of interview things, platforms. And the guy says to her, Eve, you know the community mad, right? You know the homies, we mad, right? We upset. And she was like, why? Why? Because he's white? She said, I've been dating for a long time. I lived in LA and the brothers haven't been checking for me. So, dating in LA was hard and the brothers weren't checking for me. So I went where I was celebrated. When you activate, your type changes. I don't know if I don't post a lot on TikTok, but there was a viral video that went viral on TikTok, and I believe also was it on my Instagram too? I think it was just on TikTok. Yeah, it was just on TikTok. But I put out a post about I'm gonna try to put the link in the description somewhere in this video, in the description box. Just check the description box and let me know what you think. But anyway, I put out a video. This was I don't know, 2 years ago maybe. And I was talking about this. I went to speak at a sexuality education conference, sex conference in Denver, Colorado. And there was this white woman in the audience. I was one of the only black people there, one of the only black women there. There were probably 3 or 4 black women. I was one of the 3 or 4. And only 2 of us actually spoke at the conference. Okay. We're invited to speak. And so there was this white woman in the audience. The audience, again, was predominantly white. And she says, there was a comment made about some of the kink and cuckold type of things that people are involved in. And I remember making a comment about it. I said, a majority of black women aren't raised to share. We don't like to share. Okay. And the white woman raised her hand and she says, well, she said, this is why we hear, she said, I'm not trying to be offensive, but this is why we hear that, a lot of black men are going over to white women because I said, because what? Because y'all are freakier? She was like, well, yeah. And I said, well, you're doing us a favor. Right? I said, go on, honey. Take a chance. You're doing us a favor. Listen, if black men are leaving black women and going over to white women because they're freakier, honey, have at them. Take them all. One of the people that commented on my post said, "Can we do an official trade like they do in the I don't know, sports stuff when they do trades, when they trade team members or whatever?" The sister said, "Can we do an official trade?" I said, because while Marcus and Tyrone and Mike them are coming over to you, your cousin Josh and your cousin fill in the blank, okay, Jacobs. All right. They are coming over to us. When you activate, your type changes. This is no offense to my brothers. Thank you for being here. This is no jabs or dabs to you. This isn't to say, well, black men are going over, so are we. No. When you activate, your type changes, even for my black men, even for whatever race you are, whatever culture you are. If you are doing this work in and on yourself, your type is going to change. Why? Because you done struggling, you done going through the shit with peaches in them. Okay? It just got so warm. Spirit is channeling right now. I've never been this warm when doing an episode. I am like, my face is, I feel heat all around me. Ooh, Spirit, you talking your shit. Okay? The Kundalini is talking its shit. Do your thing. When you activate, your type changes. You done, my brothers, you done with peaches in them. You are. You're done with you're done with anyone who's not authentic on a soul level. You're done with anyone who does not know you, does not honor who and what you are, right? And when I say honor who and what you are, there's this whole toxic rhetoric around, there are certain men who think women ought to be submissive to them, and there's nothing about them that is worthy of submitting to. Nothing about you. Just because you're a man, it doesn't make you a king. Just because you're a woman, it doesn't make you a queen. Remember, there's a fundamental difference between females and divine feminines. There's a difference between males and divine masculines. Which one are you? You'll know which one you are because your type will reflect it. When you activate, your type changes. Ladies, you're done with struggling with Tyrone and Marcus and Mike them. You're done. Okay? No, you're not going to be calling Tyrone. You know why you're not going to be calling Tyrone? Because Josh, John, Jacob will be too busy running your bathwater. Will be too busy out in nature building you a meditation space. I'm just saying, I don't know. When you activate, your type changes, what you used to be attracted to. Because remember, we were attracted to a reflection of our trauma. Right? 4:14 on the clock right now. That's a synchronicity for me. If it is for you, look it up. This is alignment for you. If we hadn't done this work to heal through our root chakra and raising that energy up, especially from sexual traumas, we were attracted to our traumas. This isn't new information. We were attracted to what we thought we were worthy of. And a lot of us didn't have self-worth. We didn't have the confidence. We didn't know who we are. We didn't know who we were and what we are, why we're even here. So we attracted from a place of lack. Many of us dated people mainly because we were lonely, hungry, or horny. For my Jacobs and Josh, you're done with the Kellys and the Lisas. You want Tamishas. Okay? You done with the Kellys and the Lisas. You want Tamishas. You want LaQuisha. Because Tamisha and LaQuishas and Shanice's have been doing the work in and on themselves, and that has made them very attractive to you. Also, when you activate and do this work in and on yourself, okay, you are doing away with what you were taught to believe about race and religion. Those things, you're burning them away. You're burning them in your phoenix fire. You're rising into the dawn of your new days as the new you, as the new activated you. And so your type changes because your beliefs change. Your type changes because your traditions change. What you believed about traditions change. What your family taught you about race and religion has changed. I met an Indian guy, I'm talking about like from India. I had no idea they were attracted to Black women like they are. Okay, because him and I talked. He was born in India but raised in Paris, and we were talking one day when we first met, and we talked about our cultural differences, and he shared, which I already knew, but he shared, yeah, we are raised in a class system. You know, we were raised to be attracted to and like white women because they were taught to keep their skin color mixed. They wanted to be milk chocolate. They didn't want to be pure melanin. And I don't know if you've seen Indian people or people from Pakistan, but baby, they darker than me. Okay? They're as dark as this, many of them, right? But he shared that they were raised to mix in with white people because they believed that this made them better. This made them less of a racial target. It's actually sad when you think about it. Right? So when you activate and do this work in and on yourself, you do away with what you've been taught about race and about culture, about religion, about traditions. And you're happy to do away with these beliefs because you are attracted to LaQuisha and Tamisha. You always have been. But you have been afraid to date outside of your culture. I'm not going to say date outside of your race because on this planet, there's the human race. Okay. And on this planet, I'm going to say there's one race that's a human race. All right. As far as we know. There are some things coming from the core of the earth, but we won't talk about that either. Some things coming from the deep blue sea, but we won't talk about those races right now. Listen, when you activate your type changes and you are becoming more bold, you're more confident to pursue and go after what you've always been attracted to. I've met white guys who've been attracted to Black women since they were children, but they were too afraid to step to a Black girl because they were taught, first of all, to not do that, and they were taught misconceptions about Black women that we were not attracted to them. He used to say, I did not think Black women would be attracted to me. And now he's older and he's gotten married to a Black woman and he has a biracial daughter, beautiful girl. But had he not evolved from his way of thinking, he would never have found the love of his life, which happened to be a Black woman. He is a white man from Tennessee. Right? When you activate, you will say, fuck your type. Your type is no longer your type because you're no longer attracting or drawn to a reflection of your trauma. You've healed those things. For many of us who've experienced absent fathers, right? My biological father was not in the home, but I had a great example of a father in my life. I did growing up. Great example of a father. And, but still, there are some energetic ties when it's not your biological father. And so that's also a pain point that a lot of us women who didn't grow up with our biological fathers have to heal, because we'll still attract men who are like our fathers and he wasn't even in the home. Okay. My father, biological father, was a Rolling Stone. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. He's still alive though, right? And when I would meet with my father sometime, I had the hardest time, y'all. I had the most difficult time. Like my dad, he's so funny. Like he will have you laughing until you're busting stitches, okay? He's funny like that. He really, really is. He has a great sense of humor. That's what makes him charming. But I got to know my father on a core level. And what I learned about my father, I could not respect and I did not like. I respected the fact that he was my father, but I didn't respect him as a man. Because as a man, he just had this whore mentality, this whore energy. Any woman that walked past with a vagina, he was sniffing at her. Any woman, if she had a vagina, he was attracted to her. It didn't matter what she looked like in the face. It didn't matter if she didn't have a brain. She had a vagina, and that was enough. And the way he would refer to women and talk about women, it was so whorish. It was so, ugh. So I was never able to respect my father as a man, but I did respect him as my father. And that's about it, right? And I got into a point in my life where I couldn't be around my dad because of his lack of respect for women. And I am his only child as far as we know, and I am his daughter, his only child as far as we know. And I could not understand, especially as I grew into my emotional intelligence and maturity and who I am and what I am. And I couldn't understand how he could have a daughter and talk the way he did about women right in front of me. I mean, some of the most vile, disgusting things. I don't even want to get into detail, like, even towards family members. Okay. A daughter that basically grew up like your daughter, not me, but okay. And you make quick remarks about that, like that. To me, that's some sort of mental illness and issue. I won't even go into detail, but what I'm saying is a lot of times we attract from these traumatic places and we don't even know that we're doing it because we haven't done the work in and on ourselves at a root chakra level, at a root level. And so when I did this work in and on myself, I realized I was attracting men who were a lot like my father. Now, don't get me wrong, I attracted great men too. I was engaged to a wonderful man. We spent a lot of years together, but we grew apart. That shit happens, okay? He was nothing like my father, by the way. And that's the man I chose to love and accept an engagement from. But there were other men who I seemed to have a radar that was attracted to me. I wasn't necessarily attracted to, but they were attracted to me. And I started to question, why was I attracting these type of men? And I realized that I had a father wound that I didn't heal. And once I healed that, I no longer attracted those type of men. Okay. I was sitting on the plane. I wasn't working, but I was in the uniform and I was deadheading. For those of you that know the language in aviation, I was deadheading. And I was with a different airline and I had a whole row to myself. And this one man, white, Caucasian, very professional man comes on, and there's all these different rows open that he could have said he could have had his own row because the plane that flight wasn't full. And he chose to sit in my row next to me, right? He ended up making conversation. We exchanged information. He was originally from somewhere in Spain, I forget. Beautiful Latin accent. So he wasn't Caucasian, he was Spanish, but Spanish, which is like white in Spanish, very successful, travels the world, okay, has a home here, home there. And he makes conversation and he says to me, he said, I want you to know that I saw you walk up to the gate. I initially saw you walk up to the gate and I thought to myself, that is an attractive woman. And I looked, I said, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have never attracted at the point of attraction that I attract now. since I've been activated in my purpose and my power and my pussy. Those type of men like him would never have seen me because I wasn't at the vibrational frequency to be seen, right? I wasn't at the confidence level to be seen. I wasn't at the magnetism level to be seen by a certain caliber of men. And I say to be seen, yes, physically, but also seen spiritually, seen energetically. That man and myself conversed the entire flight. We exchanged information. He's like, we've got to keep in touch. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Right? Again, those type of men never saw me or never was attracted or drawn to me in any way, shape, or form because I wasn't at that frequency to draw in or attract those type of men. I was at the frequency of Tyrone and Marcus and Mike and them, and that's what I was drawing in and attracting. Over on patreon.com/Alcheminity, I talk about the power of our yonis, the power of our wombs. When we talk about pussy power, I break that down over on Alcheminity. If you want to know more about, listen, what we do with our yonis, what we attract depends on what we do with our yonis. Okay, how we are healing and activating in them. All right. I realized I kept attracting Tyrone, Marcus, and Mike in them because that's what my root chakra was used to allowing in. Your root chakra, your pussy is like a genie. It will say, oh, you want more of this? Clearly you want more of this because you keep being with this, if you know what I mean. For deeper dives on that, become a member over on Patreon. Okay, listen. We're in our Summer Walker eras. We're in our Eve. Who's that girl? La 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 eras. Hello. When you activate, your type changes for multiple reasons. It changes because you are now healed. Okay, it changes because you're no longer making decisions based on what you've been taught about culture and race and religion and traditions. You're no longer believing and orchestrating your life in that way. You're no longer afraid, Jacob and Josh, to walk up to a Tamisha or a Bonita. Okay, you're no longer afraid to walk up to the girl who's Jacob and Josh, y'all are like, I want a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. Okay. You want the gypsies. You want the healed sirens and mystics. You're no longer afraid. And you're no longer afraid because you're no longer afraid of yourself. When you activate, your type changes. Summer Walker, we are hashtagging what you wrote, honey. So I want y'all to put it in the comments. If you feel drawn to people you wouldn't have normally been attracted to before, people who are drawn to you who normally wouldn't have been attracted to you before, if you are Bonquisha, okay, Felicia, and you are attracted to Jacob or Josh, all right, it's because you are activating in your purpose and in your power. I'm thinking about Meghan Markle marrying a prince. Her mother is black, melanin with locks. As he grew up, he was doing the work in and on himself. Meghan has been doing the work in and on herself, and they were drawn to each other, and they crossed cultural lines and boundaries with each other. Do you know how many people fell in love? They were from different class systems, different races, and they never came out publicly that they were in love. I mean, there's movies made about this shit, right? I saw a movie. It's probably a horrible example. This is one that's coming to mind, but it was a Nazi camp, and the Nazi guard fell in love with one of the black prisoners they were holding hostage. Okay, they were holding captive. He fell in love with her. There's another movie I saw. Oh, what's the movie? Was it Tyler Perry movie where the women, they were in the military, they were in the Air Force? Or is it the Air Force? What's the movie where the women, they were all in the military And the one black girl, she was dating a white guy, and everybody frowned and hated it. And they were out in public, but they still had to be very secretive. She couldn't come into the parties. Her mom and stuff, they used to cook for the parties, but she could never be invited. And he would sneak out and be with her and love her. He was like, I'm going to marry you when I get back from war. But he died. There's been so many stories and loves that have died and gone to people's graves because they were afraid to love differently. They were afraid to not be attracted to the type they were taught were their type. They were afraid to love out loud, right? When you activate and do this work in and on yourself, your type is changing for a reason. And many of the reasons for you is because that person who is meant to be in your life, who may not be of your same skin complexion, okay? They're not of your same culture or race, like people like to say. You two are drawn together because you are divine counterparts, like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, like Eve and her husband, like Summer Walker and the man that's in her life now. Do you know the type of missions they are going to be fulfilling and already have fulfilled together just by standing out, just by being an example of what evolution looks like, what love looks like when it evolves, what it looks like to turn away from the shit you've been taught? You have very big missions together. 333 on the call. You have very big missions together. This is why your type changes. For my sisters, you still waiting on the love of your life and thinking they're going to show up in the same complexion as you. I've had some conversations with black women that I work with who are also flight attendants, and they've never dated outside their race, never even considered that. I had one sister friend say, I just can't do that. I just can't do that. I just can't do that. Yet she's still struggling with a guy who barely sees her. She's investing in their connection more than he is. If she watches this, I'm not saying your name, girl, you know I love you. But I feel like we cut ourselves off. I don't even feel like we are cutting ourselves off when we think what the divine has for us is supposed to look like us. And if that were the case, we wouldn't be on this big ass planet with 8+ billion people with different skin complexions, if that were the case. When you activate, your type changes in more ways than one. So I want you to put in the comment section, Summer Walker, we appreciate you. I want you to put in the comment section, fuck my type, activate it. 3, 4, 5, 6 on the clock. If this resonated with you, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. For those of you who are subscribed here, welcome home. This is your home, make no mistake about it. Don't forget to get your copy of Activate. It's available on Amazon in paperback or ebook. For those of you who are ready to work one-on-one with me, email me the information in the description box below. If you know that you're called to bring forth powerful, huge missions, you know that you're called to be out in the forefront, in front of the camera, in the public eye, whatever that is, and you know that you need some help being equipped in your confidence and in your beauty. You know you need some help activating in your purpose and power through your pussy. I work with you on a root chakra level. I'm going to help you activate your power and your purpose through your pussy. If you're ready for that, if you know you're called for that, then email me, okay? The information is in the description box. I will meet with you on a Zoom or Google chat. I'll see if you're a good fit. I will see if you're a good fit. I will know if you're a good fit. If you're a good fit, we'll move forward. If you're not, I'll tell you right then and there. Okay? To work with me one-on-one, it's 4 weeks long. There's flicker, flame, and fire in the first 3 weeks. And in the 4th week, we combine everything you learned in those first 3 weeks, and you're going to bring them to the forefront in the 4th week. No holds barred. You're letting it all out in that 4th week. Do you hear me? So don't come to me unless you're ready, okay? Listen, it takes a lot for me to work one-on-one with you because I'm channeling information from my spiritual guides, your spiritual guides. Things come to me in the middle of the night and I'm texting you. We do communicate via text, okay? We meet face-to-face once a week and then the rest is communicating via text and email. But you're receiving texts from me 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to read them or respond right then, but you're going to be receiving things from me. Why? Because Spirit is dropping knowledge and wisdom into me for you. It takes a lot for me to channel information for you. That is what's happening when we're working one-on-one. Okay, it's no joke. So, Do not waste your time and don't waste mine. I love y'all. I'll see y'all. I'll speak to y'all in the next episode. Ciao for now.